Hey guys, how's it going? So some players have been playing Mortal Kombat, training for tournaments. They've asked me for sets, so I've been playing it a little bit more. And I think I figured out a way to sort of level up again. It sounds a little bit mad, but Cyrax is dependent on setups, but against an opponent that knows how to play, this is like death on block. You know, you're gonna get punished if they know how to fuzzy that. It's not the, like, I'm not gonna say it's an easy fuzzy, but you know, I can sit there and block. If I can block it, you know, most people can block it. I can't block it every single time, but I've got a pretty good success rate on blocking it. So, well, obviously, you know, to a seasoned Cyrax player, this isn't news, you know. Not only that, the launch isn't so great. So a lot of us have subbed out this thing for doing this, and this is really powerful. There's a couple of reasons why this is so powerful, and I'm going to upgrade how powerful it is, actually. Main thing is we get a launch of NJP bomb, and this allows us, as you can see here, to set up double bombs. There's a tech roll bomb at the back, and then obviously the close bomb there for the setup. Now when you're jumping over on that particular set that I've just shown you there, you're going to want to jump kick. The reason why you jump kick is it pushes them back into the bomb. There's more sort of pushback on the block stun there. But again, that's not the best setup in the world. It's not even hard to block the jump over kick there because there isn't much of a gap. But again, it's not bad either. So there's just an idea of a setup for Cyrax, and a couple of things that go into it. But I thought to myself, okay, so the opponent knows the Cyrax. This is only for people who, like, you know, your training partners. They know the matchup. They know the matchup, and you know they're trying to block high and low. And you do the jump over. Well, the first thing is, if the jump over never happens, like let's say they're waiting for the overhead to hit, and then they block low, and that's how they fuzzy. Just jumping over will catch them. Like, you can just jump over, because they're never going to get it on, because the overhead never connects. If you're against an opponent who's just sort of does it like they do the fuzzy anyway, whether the overhead connects or not, we can do a hard to blockable in reverse. So what does that look like? So a hard to block in reverse is where we do the setup, we wait a second, and then we go for the jump over punch. So again, we're not losing the setup. We've still got the block stun of the bomb to keep us sort of happy, and then we got our net back because it never launched in the first place, and we can do a similar thing here. And I think with really good practice, obviously I've only literally thought, I know it's mad, but I've only literally thought about something like this now. If you're behind and around and you've got a lot of meter to spare, you can kind of loop this thing on someone, and they have to block low overhead. Like, I know it's easier to release block than it is to, like, I don't know, I mean, it's questionable, but you know, like, it's still a hard to blockable, and they may still get hit by the low anyway. So, like, how would you get this all started? Well, you've seen a little bit of it there. It's a similar thing with this. You're going to want to do as much damage as you can into a net, and then you're going to want to do the hard to blockable. So, this is what it looks like normally. So the reason why I did that is, and I did the 2-1, is essentially this is a plus on block launcher. This is what it looks like normally, and then it's a 33% cash out. So if I'm against an opponent, let's say Zarakamaka for instance, Zarakamaka's got some of the best blocks on the Cyrax stuff ever. So I'm never gonna trust that it's been sort of done. So like if I go against him and I go to do the standard setup, so this is the standard setup. And I do the jump, but he blocks it. Which he does quite frequently. I'm doing an NJP on instinct. Like, in order to do the NJP, you need to have like a certain amount of like frames ahead of them in the air, so you get like the correct amount of advantage off the NJP. And because of that, he'll just uppercut me. Or some people be like, what's he doing? And you know, sometimes, you know, you might get lucky and NJP them, but at the end of the day, like, you're negative. At that point, you're not doing anything. So you've got to be aware of like the level you're playing at, who you're against, what their game plan is, what they're doing. So in a normal match, I'll just go straight into NJP. Against a high level player, I'll go straight into 2-1 and then hit confirm into this. It's great damage for a bar. Can't really ask for more. If I don't have the bar, I'll just do 1-1 4 grab, you know, and then just take the hard knockdown, then 50-50 them from that, or make a backdash read. So that's kind of the idea of the setup, and why I do, you know, the jump in 1 into 2-1, because, you know, I mean, maybe there's another button you can do it into. There are other buttons, like this is plus. So this is plus on block, and it's going to gel from the jump in. So maybe there's some setup you can do there. But the 2-1 I tend to find is pretty damn good, just because of the fact that you don't lose your juggle ever. So if this lands, you don't lose your juggle, and it's a fairly safe bet. I also believe 2-1 is at least sort of neutral on block. It's +2. Like, there you go. So, you know, you're looking at a +2 on block. So this is +2. So yeah, it's really, really, really good. So you go in plus into plus into plus, basically. So you're always going to have the momentum Cyrax, you're always going to have the pressure, and that's good. That's really good. So again, so just a couple of thoughts on this video is basically how to blockable on an experienced opponent. What are your options, and also applying the reverse of the hard blockable, which is the slight delay. So we know how to hard blockable, but how do we do it so we can do it in the opposite way, like this? And again, because we have the net back now, and we have the bar to spend for the launch, you're gonna do, you know, a good decent amount of damage on your opponent, and then out of no, ooh, that must have hit on the same frame because he didn't launch. That's cool. So, you know, that just shows how tight this fuzzy is. That I hit that then, and he didn't even block overhead, and he didn't launch, because that's what happens if the overhead and the low connect on the same frame. Only one hits, and if only one hits, if it's the overhead, then obviously don't get launched. If it's the low, the lower launch them. But one cancels out the other essentially. So I really hope you've enjoyed the video. I'm going to try and get some more Cyrax videos going, especially gameplay videos, because I know people have been asking, you know, want to see you Cyrax, I want to see you Cyrax. So I'll definitely get that going, and I also want to put some cheater and justice stuff for any of the people that, you know, still follow me for that side of things. So thanks for watching, hope you've enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.